at Veterans Park in Jenks, Oklahoma. It's one of our close-to-home fishing areas where we take extra care to make sure people have a good time and catch fish. Are pretty successful. So we put in a lot of hybrid sunfish in the summer, as well as some channel catfish. And then here in the winter, this is a special situation where we have some money from Bank First that we match, and then we put in some more, and we actually stock trout 6 times during the season, from around December 1st to about the end of February. And so it's a great place to come out and catch trout. As you can see, there's a bunch of people catching fish already. The limit is same as statewide, it's 6 per day. Jenks has a rule where it's sunrise to sunset that you can be here, so you can't be fishing outside of those areas. So no night fishing or things like that in the park, but just otherwise it's like statewide rules when it comes to trout here. They're all rainbow trout. There's no limit on the size, and there's a bunch of them in here. They're pretty good to eat. These guys really like to eat them. We've got handicap accessible docks on 2 ends of this pond. We've got a fountain out here. It's really a pretty nice area. Trout are not cheap. They're extremely expensive. That's why we don't put them just anywhere. When we started doing trout stuff back in, we had mitigation fish all the way back to the 50s, but when I started looking into things the way we did it back in the 90s, when we started moving around and having some outside of mitigation areas, trout were like 50 cents per 2, or 25 cents per 2. It broke down to something like that. And now you're talking about, we're stocking 10 to 12 inch fish. They're around a pound a piece, and that's about $5, sometimes $5.50 in that range. And it seems to go up exponentially over time. So yeah, they're getting expensive, and we're still a state with a 6 trout limit, which is very liberal. Many states don't have a limit near that large, so it's getting tougher and tougher to stock trout. But I mean, we're still doing it because, as you can see, it's a gigantic draw to people, to these anglers in the winter. It gives you something to do in the winter, and people just love to catch trout.
So you get 6 fish, that's like $30 worth of.
Yeah, I mean a 6-fish limit is about $30 if you look at it that way. And then when you see some of these trout we stock coming out, like this 18-incher you took a picture of, this guy over here, that trout is not $5. That probably averaging in the $11 to $14, $15 range. So there you go.